Yo, yo, yo. Marky Mark's Terrell. Hey, Violet, how you doing? How's things? I'm okay. All's good. Hey, Hermana, how you doing? You good? Busy editing. Yeah, it's a never-ending story. We always have something to do. There's always something to do. That's what they say. You're okay. That's good. It's been a tough week. This month has been really shitty. Pisces season is not good to me and to people around me. I'm okay though. I'm strong. I'm good. I try to make sure that I don't let things get to me too much because I know nothing can be. There's always somebody worse out there or dealing with worse situations than I am. But it's hard to see people, you know, go through things. I know a lot of people that like to fix things or like to help people, but sometimes there's only so much you can do. Yeah, it's very tough for a lot of people. Very tough. I know a lot of people that are going through a lot of things right now, and from death to struggling to dealing with divorces and old age and all sorts of things. It's just a never-ending story for a lot of people. Hey, Becca, miss you too, sweetheart. How you been? But we all get through it. It's all a part of life. It's all a part of life. Everybody goes through what they have to go through. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. I believe that totally. And like I always tell a lot of people is, yeah, I believe that, Violet. I definitely believe that. You know, all we can do is live life every day knowing that we're okay and we're gonna make it happen and so forth. Um, when somebody dies close to me, I know that they're gonna be in spirit helping me, and it's gonna make me even stronger as a medium, as a person, and it opens my eyes up to realize that I still can connect with that person even though they're not in my physical presence. That's the plus part of it, the good part of it. But the sad part of it is that their family will miss them and be tarnished with their death. So sometimes I look back and wish I could have, stopped somebody from killing themselves or prevented somebody from dying, but I don't have those superpowers. So, but we're born to die. That's the reality of the whole situation. When you're born, and you get your birth certificate and you go home with your mom and your dad, or whatever the case may be, the first thing you're guaranteed when you go sleep that night is that you will die eventually, no matter when, how, where. It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's definitely not the same. But I think that we all have to realize that in spirit they can help us more than their physical presence sometimes, if that makes sense. But I always look at things at the brighter side, but I just feel bad for the families and the children and things like that. Sometimes I find it really hard to believe that someone can actually take their life. It just that never makes sense to me. But I remember doing mediumship about 3 years ago, and I was really like, getting a lot of mediumship readings, and still do. But when I first started opening up to it, I read a lot of people who committed suicide and had suicidal situations, and it breaks my heart every time to know that people can actually do that to themselves and to the people that they love. And it just breaks my heart how they would even think to get themselves to that point, you know? I don't know. I wish that I wish I was there to help the person to say, hey, look, no, 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 don't do it, please. You know? Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. It is crazy. But even though, people, take their own life, I mean, some people, like for instance, my friend Sue, she had cancer, she beat it, and then got it, it came back. I know a lot of people that happened to, and I never forget the day that she was fine, and then a year later it came back, and she was like, I think this is it's over. Like, and I'm like, no, man, you can do it. Like I kept telling her, no, you'll be fine. You can't think of death. Just keep living your life. And things got worse and worse, and then that was it. And I say to myself, death has no age, death has no mercy. But I have her in spirit. I have a lot of people in spirit right now, tons of people that I know. I've watched a lot of people pass away, and it's a shame. But as a psychic and a medium, and doing psychic stuff and being a medium for a while now, and doing readings and seeing what people go through and seeing the joy they have from hearing from that person in spirit makes me happy. And I realize that death isn't all that bad after all, you know. But some people take it okay, like I do, but some people are devastated by it, and I couldn't imagine, a person going through that. See, I still have my parents, and I still have my brothers and sisters. I still have the immediate people in my life, my nephews and stuff. So I don't really know what it's like to really lose somebody that shares the blood I share, and share the family that I share. So I don't know that. I can't speak for that. But I have had aunties and uncles that have passed away, but that's different for me. You know, it's more significant if it's somebody in your immediate family, like your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad. My friend that died 2 days ago, he was like family to me. He was somebody I grew up with, somebody I learned things from, somebody who taught me things. He was my brother's best friend, also my friend. His family was like my family. My dad worked with his dad. My mom was always cooking with his mom. We grew up together. Like there's no There's no getting away from that. Even though we're not immediate family, we are like family. Like we grew up together. So we went to school together. So, you know, to hear that he took his life was something I would have never thought in a million years. If you gave me a list of people that would have took their life, he would never be on there. I would have never have thought that. I spoke to my friend today. He saw my post on Instagram, and he voice messaged me and said, "Hey, this can't be true, right?" And I'm like, "I'll call you," you know. So I called him, and we spoke for a good 20 minutes, and we just talked about all the good things about him because we don't know anything bad about him. You know, we don't have bad things to say about him. You know, there was nothing there's no speculation either of anything bad. That's why I don't understand. You know, so it had to be something, obviously, but I've heard rumors, but I don't care about rumors. I'll be able to talk to him soon enough in spirit and find out from him himself. I'm sure he'll come to me eventually. But right now, I see, you know, the joy in his spirit life being reunited with his whole family because he was the second last person in his family. He's only got a sister here now that is in a wheelchair. So he's been through a lot. He saw his mom die, he saw his dad die, he saw his brothers die, and he sees his sister in a wheelchair. You know, so he's been through a lot. So it's hard to it's hard. I know he had a hard life. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Violet. Yeah. I guess we all have to be strong for everybody else, you know. Yeah, I agree with you, Violet. But you know, it's just I have this. I've always had like this thing in my brain that says there's always a way out. You know, I've never had suicidal thoughts ever because I always know that there's a better way. It's not going to be bad all the time. You know, I don't think I would ever do that to myself or to anybody else. But I can only speak from myself and from my own experiences. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just hard to take in. It's weird. Um, Even the people that I've read in mediumship when they may kill themselves, they were very apologetic. They were very you know, they were drug addicts or you know, they just couldn't handle the pressure type of thing. But this guy, I don't know, like he's like I've known him and I spoke to him recently and I saw him on Friday, you know, and driving his car and he looked normal. When I last saw him, he looked normal and you know, I can like I'm a person who reads people pretty, you know, pretty good. You know, like when I speak to them, I can tell if something's wrong. And I never got that feeling from him. But my friend said today, you know, he's always had a poker face where if he is something wrong, you'll never know. Like, cause some people you just don't know. You know, you just don't know. It's just I feel bad for my brother too because he that was his best friend. So my brother's all shook up too. My friend that I called today, he was a part of the clique. Like I was the youngest in the crew, and you know, you know, when we were together, we were at his place. His like you know his dad had a business, and his brother had, was a part of the business. My dad worked for him. So we were always there when we grew up. And he had a big house and everybody would go there. And we used to be in like this basement area and we used to have we used to play music. That's where I first learned how to DJ and got, got to the point. Like it's hard for me because losing him is like losing someone who every time I look at him, I know that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to be a DJ. I would have never been a DJ because he had his friend that was a DJ was teaching me how to do it in his basement. The first sip of alcohol I had was there. The first cigarette I had was there. Like the first everything I did was with this guy and his family and his friends and his nephews, and me and his nephew was like the youngest in the whole crew. So I can't imagine how they all feel right now, And I went to his brother's funeral, and it's one of the worst funerals I've ever been to in my life. So it's like, you look back on it all. I look back on it all today, and I can't believe it's. He was 55. He went 55 on March 2nd. That was his birthday. Hey, Ali, how you doing? So it's hard to even think about and I know the details, and it's like, what the fuck, it's like I can't believe this shit. It just doesn't make any sense. But I can't, all I know is it's over and done with now. It's nothing we can do. He can't come back. So I just encourage everyone to please get help. Don't ever kill yourself. Don't ever do that. That's just the worst thing you can possibly do to yourself and to everybody around you. Committing suicide is to me, that's the worst thing you can do. You can always get help. If you die naturally or somebody kills you, that's different. But never take your own life. There's always a way out. There's always something you can do. There's always someone you can talk to. There's always somebody that's going to tell you something that, that will get you over that. So that's always been my suggestion. And I swear to God, if I knew he was going to do that, I would have stopped him. I would have done everything in my power to stop him. And, unfortunately, none of us could have never known because obviously it's done and over with. But this is the second person in the last 6 months that I know that's committed suicide. And it's 2 men that have left their children behind, their wife behind, people that I know. It's just I can't understand it. I just don't. It's crazy. Hey, Ninja, how are you? Thanks, bud. Yeah. I don't know. I just can't. If I had a child, doing it single, I can understand that to a certain point because probably you feel like you can't go nowhere. But if I was married with a kid, I can never take my life. I don't think I can ever do that. They say never, but I'm different. I can't. I wouldn't be able to do that to my child or to my wife, or even if I had a divorce and and I can't see my kid every day, I would want to live to see him come to the age where he can be with me, more, or be with me, every single chance I get so I can teach him things and do things. I would never want to take my life. I just don't understand. I still just can't understand how it happens. I agree, Violet. I 100% agree. But see, thing is with men have too much pride. A lot of men have pride. They don't want to sit there and cry, and because they're considered a wuss. They're considered a pussy. They're considered a man child. They're considered like a wimp. A man isn't gonna sit there, and a lot of men ain't gonna sit there and say they have problems and suicidal issues. They're afraid to be vulnerable. Whereas I wish that they would just, they can talk to somebody like they can always talk to somebody like, I wish they would come to me. I really would. I really do. And that's the sad part of it all. But if you're married and you have children, you should be talking to them. They should say, no, no, dad, don't do that shit. Like, don't ever kill yourself. We love you. We care about you. But who's to say that that happens in reality, right? Who's to say that that happened in their case? But I don't know. It's so weird to me. So weird. I don't know. I don't get it. I guess I'll never understand because it's not for me to understand. It's just something for me to be concerned that that actually happens in the world. And it's happened a lot. But, I hear about it, but when it happens to somebody I know, it's like I feel kind of like I could have done something. You know what I mean? But really, I can't because I wouldn't know, right? I'm never going to know because that person's not telling me anything. I'm not with them every day to know that. But it's sad. Yeah. 6 months ago, this guy, he's married to my friend. I grew up with her too. She was in my neighborhood. I dated her sister. Um, and he had a drug problem, and then he got clean, and then he was fine. He ran away with his son to go show his parents. The son, he was so happy. She finally got married to a decent guy. And then he started going back to drugs again without her even knowing. She didn't even know. He OD'd and died, killed himself. And left her and a beautiful baby boy behind, just like that. And then here I am 6 months later hearing about my friend hanging himself in the very basement that we had tons of parties in and tons of fun. And he left behind 2 beautiful daughters and a wife. And he had everything. He had a big house, a business. His wife was beautiful. His children were beautiful. His 2 daughters. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Like I always say, is it that bad? Like, is your life that bad? Like, there's people out there that don't fuck, that's on the street, don't have a dollar to their name, don't have no food, malnourished, fucked up, waiting to get something. And here you are, you have everything you can possibly want, and you kill yourself. Like, I just don't understand that concept or that thought that goes through a person's mind. Like, that's why I always say what I say. Like, it doesn't make sense. Everybody says to me, "Hey, Mark, how you doing?" And I always say, if I'm not in the hospital, I'm happy. If I'm healthy, I'm happy. If I'm sick, I'm not going to be happy. When I see people that I know that are sick, I'm not happy. But I'm okay if I'm not in the hospital. I'm okay if I don't have a disease. That's my mentality. That's how grateful I am. Because I know, like, if I'm okay, if I'm healthy and I'm okay and I can work and I can talk, I can breathe, I can fucking drink and eat, I'm fine. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that life. But if I was sick and I was coming in and out of the hospital, I'd be sad. But I'm not going to kill myself. I just can't do that. That's impossible to me. It should be impossible for everyone. I don't know. It's just crazy. When I think about it, I can't wrap my head around the feeling of why people do that. And it happens a lot too. It really does. And I've had I know of 2 guys last year that died of a heart attack. They were younger than me. I know both of them. I know their wives. I know their children. And they died of heart attacks. And it's just like it's the saddest thing ever. Cause like you wait all your life to get married, to have kids, to build a future, build a home, and then you die and you leave. You know, these men are dying like crazy. And I just it's insane to see the amount of guys I know that have passed away recently. It's like, what the fuck is going on with this world? It's crazy. It really is crazy. And my cousin, her funeral is Thursday. She's 83, and she was retired, living her life. She went away to Portugal last year. She had a great time. She got COVID. She came back. She never was right. She had, problems after that because she was up there in age. And then she passed away last week, and her funeral was on Thursday. I have to take my parents there tomorrow, Thursday for the funeral. And now here we hear another person that died that we knew. It's like a never ending story. Like people are dying like flies lately. It's like usually I don't really know people that die like that. For me it's different. I've seen a lot of people that I know pass away lately, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Not me. I don't ignore that. I don't like that. If somebody says to me they're suicidal, um, and they really mean it, because some people say it to get attention. Like my brother-in-law, he claims he's tried to commit suicide several times, but he's saying it to get attention. He doesn't really mean it. And I know he doesn't, because he said it a few times and he's never done it, obviously, because he's still alive and he's still a pain in the ass and he's still the devil in disguise. So that's different. But if a person is really depressed, and I know that I can tell, or they come to me and say, hey, Mark, look, I'm feeling suicidal. And like, what do you think I should do? I would go out of my way to help you. I would make sure that I get it sink into your mind that that's not the way to go. And I will give you a million options to not do it. And I'll give you a million reasons to not do it. I will make you feel guilty for even thinking about that. And I will help you. And that's the fact. I don't like people who do that. That's not the right thing to do. There's always a way up. Always. And believing in God is the first way to get out of suicide. That's the number one thing. But hey, people come in here every day and people talk to me every day about their past loved ones. I pick up on mediumship. Doing mediumship is a task, and I love doing it because I love getting people the message and make them believers that people can die and be in spirit, and also help you. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a guarantee. It does work. It is happening. It is real. But the thing is like, it's sad for people who actually lose someone really, really close to them. It's crazy. I must have sat outside for about a half an hour today on the chair outside. And I just thought about all the things I did with that, with him and his family, and just thought about all the great times. I don't even have a bad memory of him. I really don't. I can't tell you one bad memory of him. Nothing. If somebody says, "Oh, what do you not like about him?" and there's nothing that I don't like about him. I have all good things. That's why it hurts more, because I don't understand how A decent person would do that. But I don't know what goes through people's minds. I don't know. Like Violet said here, I don't know what goes behind closed doors. I don't know what his life was really like. I wasn't in his life every day. I saw him from time to time, but when we were younger, we were with each other every day. Me, him, my brother, his nephews, which were the same age as me. We were like a big happy family. Just like my friend said today, those are the best times of our life was when we were younger. And then people get married, people have a life, people break off from each other, but they still speak. I drive across his house every day, and today I drove across there twice and I saw his truck abandoned. The truck that he drives every day is just sitting there in his yard. And it broke my heart. I'm like, I'm never going to see him drive that truck again. And I'm like, fuck me. It's just fucking bullshit. His daughter is in college. His youngest daughter's in college, and now she has to leave college, come back home for her own dad's funeral. Like that just, it sucks. It's not right. Life shouldn't be that difficult. Yeah, beautiful daughter too. Too beautiful. His first daughter graduated. They went to the same school we went to. She graduated and became a pharmacist. She's actually a pharmacist um, for the past year and a half, I think. And the youngest daughter is in college, almost finished. I don't know. I think she's going to be a teacher or something like that. I can't remember what she's going to be. I don't really know too well, um, but yeah, now she's got to leave college, come here, and attend her dad's funeral. It's probably going to mess up her education as well. And his wife found him, dead. So that's going to tarnish her forever. I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Sometimes I wish I could make it all better. I really do. I wish I could wave a magic wand and just or go back in time, like Back to the Future movie. I wish I can just go back into the time, stop him from doing it, and fix it. Like what the fuck. I wish I can just do that. I wish I can just go into a time machine and say, no, 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 we're gonna fix that shit. See, it'll be different if he died from a heart attack or a disease or something like that. To me, it's different. Yeah, my brother, I haven't talked to her personally, but my brother did. My brother actually went there and spoke to her last night, and she's devastated. Obviously, she found him in the basement, pretty much. He hung himself. So I can't even imagine what she's going through right now. She said that he had a lot of stress from work. He was very stressed out from work. She said that he did like a big job and it didn't go well. He was always stressed out, and I guess he had enough. But I feel so bad for her. I don't even know how that woman's gonna function for the rest of her life seeing that shit. But the good thing is she has her daughters with her. Her daughters are old enough now. I think they're like 19 and 23 or something like that. They're about that age. One of them, the one that's in college lives with her, and the other one lives in the apartment next door. So at least she has support from her daughters, and she has her sister here. I know her sister very well. She works at the grocery store at the bottom of the hill. I see her every day. Every time I go to the grocery store, not every day, but every time I go to the grocery store, I see her sister. So now when I see her, I'm going to think about that every single time. I got to go down there and just give her my condolences. I just can't imagine what she's going through. I feel really, really sorry for her. Yeah. It's beyond traumatizing. But when I was sitting outside and thinking about him, I got an image of him with his dad, his mom, his brothers. One of his nephews died when I was in school in a bike accident. His brother died of cancer, which was one of my great friends. He taught me a lot of things. His other brother died of a heart attack. His dad died of old age. His mom died from cancer. His sister's in a wheelchair. Like I said, he's had a rough life. So I know in spirit, I saw him. I saw him in spirit with his family. So I was happy after I saw that image of him with his family. So I know he's all right in spirit, but what he left behind is not all right. So, but that's how it is. That's how it is. $55 old. His birthday was March 2nd, just a week ago. 55 years old. Unbelievable. Back in the day, he was the leader of the pack. He led us all. He was like the oldest in the crew, and he held it down for everyone. Like I just remember that we all looked up to him. He was like, always laughing. I've never seen him mad. He was always laughing, always like, he always spoke. He always asked how you were. I don't have nothing bad to say. It's crazy. Some people that kill themselves and like they're an asshole or they're crazy or they're a drug addict. That's different. Like you kind of pinpoint why they did it. But for him, there's no like explanation. But I'm sure I'm gonna find out more eventually. But as far as his wife said, he had a lot of stress with work. And that will do it to you. Business can kill you. If you're already stressed from work, trying to pay bills and trying to like please everybody, it'll get to you. My parents had like a stone wall in front. They have a stone wall in front of their house, and he sells Bermuda stone. He's got a construction company, and I called him and I said, "Hey, look, man, I need about like 8 or 9 pieces of stone, for the wall. Just drop it off at my dad's. I'm gonna do the wall. I'm gonna build it, and just drop off the stone when you get a chance." And he's like, "Yeah, man, no problem, Mark. I'll do that for you." Next thing you know, he within a week, he brought me the stone. He called me, says, "Hey, I dropped it off. Spoke to your dad and your mom." I said, "Hey, man, look, just send me the bill." He never sent me a bill. And I called him again. And I was like, "Hey, send me a bill for those pieces of stone, man." He's like, yeah, yeah, all right, no problem, no problem. Then I saw him at the grocery store. I was like, hey, send me a bill. He's like, yeah, all right, cool. And he never sent me a bill because, he did it for free because that's how, close we are with the family. And he just said, yeah, I ain't worried about that shit. That's why it's so crazy to think that it's sometimes I think I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and think that it's not even true. It's crazy. Death can do that to a lot of people. Death is so fucked up that it makes you think and think and think and think and think. And you're like, why? But why did that happen? You ask the question why all the time. Anyway, I think I've talked everybody's ear off. I don't want to make everybody feel eerie or think about their past loved ones. I'm not here to do that, but that's the update. That's life. We all go through it. Everybody in this room has somebody that's passed away that they love, they care about, they think about. Hey, Cindy. Yeah, it's good to talk about it. I listen to everybody else. It's just, it's a shitty feeling. It really is. Yeah, I mean, it's something that today I was happy when I saw him in spirit with his family. So I was actually really happy seeing them all together in the same place. So see, that's one thing about me. That's why I don't really get too worked up, about it and too emotional about it anymore. I do. I've shed my tears today. Trust me. But you know, it's weird. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And the crazy thing is, I like I keep saying, I told my mom, I said I just saw him on Friday afternoon, and he's driving his car and he's got his hand out, his elbow on the thing. I can see him like, and he always wears his hat like this. He always wears hats like me, but he wears it like this. He never wears it the other way. He always wears his hat like that. So I know it, like I can see him. It's like it just doesn't make no. It's like I just can't. It just doesn't make any sense. It's so weird. All of us are like, but when every person I talk to is like, but why? Him of all people, no way. Like that's just fucking crazy. This just can't be real. It baffles my mind. The first the first suicide person I knew of was when I was in school. There was a kid in school, my class. I always spoke to him. He was getting bullied, but I didn't know he was getting bullied in school. See, I didn't know because I wasn't really like hanging out with him type of thing. I had my like crew, and he was with another like set of guys. But we would always speak to each other. I would always see him say, "Hey, bro, what's up, man? You all right?" He's like, "Yeah, cool." Because I knew his sister, I knew his parents, I knew him. And one day we came to school, and the teacher says, "I'm sadly to announce that he's dead," and blah blah. I'm like, "What?" Like he was here yesterday in class. I sat next to him. What the fuck? What are you talking about? He killed himself. How is that even possible? He was just here yesterday in school. So that's why, like, I get so So like, like I don't understand how the fuck I see you today and you're gone tomorrow, but that's what that saying is. That saying that's out there is you're here today, gone tomorrow. And that's what that saying means. You see that person today and tomorrow they're gone just like that. And I remember going to his funeral and it was so packed with people I just stayed outside because I didn't want to go inside because even at the age of like I think I was like 15, 14, 15. It still didn't set in at that age. And I didn't want to go in the church. I stayed outside and I cried and I said, I can't believe he's gone. I just sat next to him in class yesterday. Like, when I went to his funeral like a couple of days later, and I just stayed outside. I didn't want to go inside. I was the only one outside. And there was another guy outside smoking cigarettes. I remember seeing the old guy there. And he's like, hey, you all right? I'm like, no, I'm not. He said, I sat next to this guy at school. I didn't know he was getting bullied. I didn't know this shit happened. Like, why didn't I know? It's like I always feel like I could have helped, but I know I couldn't, obviously, because I didn't know. Because when I sat next to him, I didn't bully him, and I didn't know he was getting bullied. I didn't. And see, that was, I'm 46, and that was 30 years ago. And people are talking about kids getting bullied and killing themselves now for the past couple of years. But that shit's been happening forever. That shit happened when I was in school 30 years ago. And that was the first suicide person that I knew of at the time. So like it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't, that's something that I've always been um, worried about is, and I wish I had, I wish I can see somebody who has to deal with that so I can help them. But obviously, we can try and help people. I mean, I've helped my cousin not commit suicide, thank God. He called me one day and says, look, Mark, I'm gonna take my life. I'm like, no, you're not. He goes, yeah, I don't have nothing to live for. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? You can't kill yourself because of some woman. There's another woman, you'll find someone else. Oh, but and I was like, look, man, where are you at? And he was on his boat. And he was gonna go drive his boat and go kill himself. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't go nowhere. I'm coming right now. And I talked him into it. And his mom, told me if it wasn't for you, he'd probably kill himself. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, what did you say? I said, don't kill yourself. It don't make no sense. What the fuck is that gonna accomplish? You're gonna get somebody else. You're young. You're only 20, whatever. Fuck, we guys would go find you can find somebody else. I said, look at me. Look at everybody. Because his dad died when he was young. See, his dad died when he was like 13, 14. So that tarnished him for life. His dad died of cancer and he was always depressed because he didn't have a father figure. And he had a sister and his mom. And then, he got into a relationship young and the girl left him. And then, he wanted to kill himself. And I convinced him not to. Now he has, a woman and he's living with her and he's happy. But I only saved one person. I wish I could have saved all the people that I mentioned. But that's not possible, obviously. I don't. But the people that do that obviously go through a lot of heartache and a lot of trauma, a lot of problems. It's this crazy dog's over here hacking. You okay? Hey. You okay? Calm down. Oh, for Christ's sake. What's wrong? You okay? Come here. Breathe. Don't try and eat food in your sleep, because that's what happens. Okay, Piggy? You're sleeping, snoring, and trying to eat food in your sleep, and then you choke. You're not supposed to eat in your sleep. Crazy ass dog. She's probably thinking, look, she's probably thinking of food when she's sleeping, right? She's like, yum, yum. And then she wakes up and she starts choking because she realizes she's not eating, she's eating her tongue. Cut it out. Damn, dog. She's something else. Thanks, Cindy. I appreciate that. All right, thanks, Herman. I appreciate that. I'm good. You know, it's just nice talking about it, but I know everybody's been through, you know, their experiences of death and things like that. So, you know, it's a topic that, like Becca says, it's a deep topic. It is, and you know, sometimes we have these moments. But thank you for your support, Herman. I appreciate it very much. You know, it's also like weeks like today and things like today make me want to continue to be a medium and continue to do psychic stuff and continue to be this person who you see in front of you. Like I like it. Days like weeks like today make me want to like do this type of work. Because if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be hit a lot harder. But hey, it's definitely something that happens every day. No, Becca, we don't. But it's nice to you know, to like how I met you. I'll use you as an example. You know, when I met you, I would have never known you have been through the things you've been through. I couldn't imagine what you've been through, and how you've been through it. You're very strong, and you've been through, you know, a lot of dumb shit. And you know, I'm not gonna put your business out there, obviously, but I know what you've been through from what you've told me. And when I do mediumship with you, it's like a breath of fresh air. You didn't believe it, but I made you a believer. And see, that's what I mean when I say that. You know, I don't always have the answers, but I can always help, and I want to help when it comes to death, when it comes to spirit, because I know that that person that receives that message will always be grateful to know that even though they may have never met that person, or they may have been with that person, that that person still gives a fuck about them in spirit. You feel me? Like that's how, like, I look at, you know, my using my gift to help people in that way is better for me. It makes me feel like, you know, that's my answer. That's my way to help. I couldn't prevent that person from killing themselves. but I can tell you how they feel once they're ready. That's the difference. And that's what makes me happy, that even though I know I couldn't prevent them from killing themselves, but I can get the message across and help that person get over the death, or get over, the pain, or actually, understand that this shit's, it can be dealt with in a different manner. Even though you can't prevent it, you can help heal it. That's what I meant to say so much in so many words. And trust me, it's made me realize a lot more that I took death very very too seriously, and I took death, as the worst thing that can ever happen in life. But doing mediumship, I realized that it's not that bad after all. But it just depends on the person that you talk to, or the person, if they're going to believe it, or if that person is really open to believing that, even though that person is not in a physical presence, they're in a spiritual presence now, which is still a presence in your life, a part of your life. So it's different for me now. I don't really, like, it hurts, yes, and I can talk about it, yes, but it's still, it baffles my mind on how it all works and how it all happens. And sometimes I want to say fuck all of this and not do this no more. Close my channel, get rid of it, throw all these cards in a barrel of fire and just say fuck this shit. I don't want to do it no more. Sometimes I get to that point, where I just say, you know what, maybe this is not meant for me. Or maybe I don't want to do it anymore. And then there's days where I'm like, you know what, I have to do this, because people need, they need closure, they need healing, they need to understand that it is real. You have to get over it, embrace it, love it, and deal with it. I just know that you can always talk to that person and deal with that person, even though they're in a spirit form. But there's been many times where it's hurt, where I do a mediumship for someone, and it's like, I can't believe what I just saw. I can't believe what I just dealt with. I can't believe this person's going through this shit. It's like I said, I can't imagine how this guy's wife feels. I can't imagine it, because I don't know what it feels like. I can't speak for her. I can't say how I know one thing is, she's probably destroyed from seeing what she saw. And I hope to God that she gets all the help she needs. If I ever cross paths with her, obviously it's too early for that, but if I ever do, I'll definitely help her with no hesitation. But it definitely is an eye-opening reality that it does exist. But hey, so good. All right. What's going to make me feel better is to pull a card for everyone. If you want one, I'll give you one. And the cards I'm going to pull tonight is Messages from Heaven. So Being that we're on the subject of mediumship, let's see what Spirit has to say. Why not? Why not? All right, Becca, let's see what we got for you. All right, Becca, this cute little monkey. This is number 30, and this says, "Let us hug you, close your eyes as we hold you close. Things have not been easy as you would like, and your loved ones are aware that you need extra support and love at this time. They bring you caring words. We love you. We always will love you. Let us hold you in your arms so you know how much we care. Feel our close presence at this time." Will you stop hacking? There you go. Let us hug you. Close your eyes as we hold you close. I like that. Yeah, big hug from moms, brother, people in spirit. It's the best. Spirit hugs are the best hugs. All right, Ninja, you are next. You're welcome, sweetie, no problem. Okay. Every time I use this deck, this card comes out, but usually it comes out for me. All right, Ninja, your card is number 5. We're helping to bring a little luck your way. You deserve it. Sometimes we struggle on nothing, and sometimes we struggle on, and nothing seems to go our way. Well, that time has come to an end. Your loved ones are stepping in to help. They are saying, "We are here for you. We are helping to make things right. Be ready as we bring good news." So there you go, Ninja. We're helping to bring a little luck your way. You deserve it. You're welcome. Cindy, are you here? If you are, I'll give you a message. Or whoever else is here, I'll give you a message. Just let me know. I'm the bomb.com. I'm going to give myself a message. All right. Yes, you got a cute bear. This is my card, number 16. It says, trust, love, and appreciate yourself. Show respect for you. When you look in the mirror, say something nice to yourself. Your spirit friends remind you that if you want others to respect you, you have to first begin by respecting yourself. They say, love yourself as we love you, totally and unconditionally. Yeah, I know I've been kind of hard on myself, but it's all because of what's going on. Yeah, I try to appreciate and I do trust myself. I do love myself, but sometimes I don't really respect myself because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing sometimes? But I know what they're trying to tell me. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I haven't used this deck forever. I got to get my other mediumship cards. I have another deck that's for mediumship. Like it's another spirit deck. That's really cool. I haven't used it in a while too. I gotta go. I gotta find it. No, I'm trying not to be. Um, it's not so much being hard on myself. It's just that I'm the type of person that I always want to help, and when the message doesn't get across to the people that I help, I kind of get frustrated and think like, you know what? The fuck is these people's problem? This has been a tough week. I've had a tough week. My parents I've been, dealing with my parents with them not getting a car, having to take them all over the place, have them, annoy the shit out of me. Um, my sister's going through the divorce. No car yet. I went to go see a car and somebody got there just before me and bought the car. So I was pissed. But that was my dad's fault. Because I told my dad, look, I'm on the internet right now, and there's a car. And when I told him the price, he was like, and I was like, I'm going to go see the car just in case. And then he's like, no, I won't be able to afford that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, we're going to help you. Oh, but you shouldn't be helping me. He was being a real idiot. So if I would have went with my first instinct and said, to hell with what he says, I'm going to go get this damn car, I would have got it. But because of his stupidity and because of his, lack of faith, I, said, you know what, fuck it. And then when the woman told me that I was a little too late, I was like, well, this is my dad's fault again. So I told him yesterday, I said, you're without a car because of your own stupidity. I told you, let me go look at it and see what's going on. Now he regrets it and feels like an idiot. And my mom told him off and said, I told you already. We should just go get the car and that's it. He was like, no, 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 no. I was like, all right, see, because of your stupidity, we lost out on a good deal. So now I gave up. I was like, fuck it, I'm not dealing with it no more. So my sister, because my cousin that died last week, she was 83 and she's my dad's first cousin. And she had a little small white car. I can't remember. I think it's a Toyota. And I suggested to my dad to call her daughter or call her son, which is your cousin, your family, and tell them that you need the car and you would like to buy the car now that she's, dead. Oh, I don't know. I don't feel like doing that. And I'm like, do you want a fucking car or not? Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you're going to get a car that you're going to get a car that your cousin is, used to use. And it's new. It's only like 2 or 3 years old. So then I told my sister, look, I'm not dealing with it. You can deal with it if you want. I'm done. I'll wash my hands of this situation. he's not going to annoy the shit out of me because my dad is a very stubborn human being. And him and I, are on good terms. And I want to keep it that way because I've already cut my dad off in the past. And I must beat the shit out of him one day because she's such a control freak when we were younger. He tried to control us and like hold us back from our dreams and our goals. And I didn't let him do that. That's why it turned out the way I did, because I didn't listen to him. And he's not my favorite person. I love my dad, don't get me wrong, but he can be a very annoying idiot. And he never listens, he never understands, and it's like he's very frustrating to deal with. So my sister called, the daughter, which is our cousin, and said, "Hey, look, my condolences again. I don't want to ask you this, but we want to make sure that we get this car. If you're selling it, can you please let us know? That's all we want to know." So she says, "Okay, I'll call my brother because he's the one dealing with the car, not me." And I know that she got a new car recently, last year, like the daughter. So the son, he doesn't need a car because he's got a big ass Jeep. I knew him. He's my cousin. So we're hoping that my cousin is going to call my dad and say, "Hey, look, if you want to buy the car, I'll sell it to you. Mom would rather have you have it than somebody else." So it's like the perfect deal for my dad because it's coming from your cousin. You see her every week, and maybe this is meant to be. That's why we didn't get the first one, because it was meant. She probably wants you in spirit to have her car, so she knows you're going to take care of it. So hopefully that's the case, because that'll be a blessing, and I hope to God it happens, because my dad is just too much. He's like, he's somebody that sometimes I want to, throw shit at. Oh man, it's been a stressful, annoying past few days, and it's been an annoying year so far. Dealing with my sister's divorce, my parents going through this accident. I'm fine. Like I'm not going through anything. I have no problems and issues, thank God. I don't. I just have to deal with everybody else's bullshit. And I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? I should just lock my door, turn off my phone, and say to hell with everybody and just leave me alone. So I'm not putting up with your bullshit. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to be sucked into your bullshit. I don't put my shit on nobody. So don't put your shit on me. But it's hard to ignore my family, because they need me, and I know they want me to help them. But sometimes it's just too much. I'm like, when am I gonna have my own life? When can I do what I want to do now? Well, I always got to do what you mofos want me to do. So it becomes very frustrating. But I'm okay though. I can handle. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. So, yeah. Life of dealing with parents. Yeah, I know they're definitely set in their ways. You're right. But you have to understand what's right from wrong. That's what I'm trying to show my dad. You got to understand what's right from wrong here. If you get a shitty secondhand car, you're going to have shitty insurance. So if it gets hit, if somebody hits you again, you're not going to get nothing back like you did this last time. But if you get a better car with more value, at least if somebody hits it, you're going to get more of a value so you can get a decent secondhand car. And he had a hard time understanding what I was telling him. And then about an hour later, my mom called and said, I had to, talk some sense into him and tell him that you were right. I'm like, when have I stir you guys in the wrong way? When have I told you something that's not true? I'm looking out for you. Like, can't you see that? When you die, if you die like 3, 4, 5 years from now or 10 years from now, your fucking money's not gonna go in your grave. You know that, right? You know that when you go, you don't have nothing. You leave with nothing. You came in this world with nothing and you're gonna fucking leave with nothing. Let that sink through your brain. Okay? It's not easy. It really isn't. But hey, what do I know? I know nothing. You be oh boy. See what I have to go through? I really don't deserve it. Yeah. See, it's true. It's very true. I just deal with it, Ninja. I just make sure I keep sane. I really do. I make sure that I don't go overboard with my thoughts and my feelings. And I've been tested. And when I get mad, I get mad, and I just don't want to be mad. I hate being mad. I want to be happy and laugh. And I don't want to be sorry. I don't want to be sad. Like today, like I've been fine, and I've shed my tears. I've seen good things, bad things. I've talked about it all day, and I think I'm gonna go to sleep now. Yeah, I'll be fine. One thing about me, I get over it. It's only lasts a few days. I just don't want to go to another funeral. I don't really want to go to the funeral, but because I feel too much when I go there. I don't really like. I mean, nobody likes funerals, right? But it's gonna be a hard one to go to. So I have to see what happens. But most likely, I'll probably be good. My dad's probably gonna come with me or my mom, I guess. I don't know. I'll get to that point when I get to it. Yeah, I feel too much. Thanks, back of sweet dreams to you too, sweetie. But yeah, I'll be fine. I'm gonna take a few deep breaths and acknowledge the fact that I'm going there for a reason. But the only problem is they get buried in the same spot. See, he's gonna be in the same spot his brother, his dad, his mom, and I'm gonna relive those moments, and it's not good. So it's gonna be a hard funeral to go to, but I'm gonna go. Yeah, exactly. Which is true. I don't really take those. I don't really take funerals very very lightly. Like I don't like it at all. It's something that I avoid at all costs. It's something that tarnishes like my. It's bad enough. I have to see what I see. So like when I go there, it's like, oh boy, it's like I get attacked. You know, Mark, hey, come here, come here. We gotta talk to you. We gotta talk to you. Hey, look, remember me? Remember this? I'm like, yo, get off me, get off me. Yo. Yeah, I'm here for one reason. Like, don't irritate me. Yeah, I understand that. Back, I feel the same way. Yeah, Ninja. I know I've helped a lot of people, but when I go to a funeral or even church, it's difficult. It's very difficult for me. That's why I don't go, because I get bombarded by emotions, feelings. I start to cry like uncontrollably, and I can't help it. And I don't like that feeling. It destroys me. It makes me not want to do it anymore. But I have to be strong and be like, be aware that it's for a reason. So I'm definitely gonna go, because that's somebody who I don't really go to too many people's funerals. I haven't been to too many anyway, but I've been to people who, I've known for a long time. So it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna go. It'll be nice to see some of my friends there and my family members and people that we used to hang out with. It'll be nice for the whole crew to be back together. So I'm gonna go to see all my friends as well and talk about good times instead of bad. So I know everybody will be there. My brother will be there. So it'll be nice to reunite with all the old crew, because he was like the leader of the pack. So everybody's gonna go. He's very well known too. So it's gonna be hopefully it's gonna be, a blessing, and hopefully the sun is shining and everything's fine. But anyway, I'm gonna see you guys. Thanks for listening, and thanks for being here for me. I appreciate it. And I'll keep you guys posted, and we'll get through it together. All right. Thanks a lot. Mwah. Take care. Good night.